Today I wanted to make a rather different video from what I usually do. I'm not going to be performing a piece for you today, and I'm not going to be doing a review on a piano, but what I wanted to do instead is kind of give you a bit of a behind-the-scenes look at what it's like to be a content creator on YouTube and some of the relatively minor struggles that we have to deal with, which are copyright claims. And particularly in this video, I'm going to be talking about the ones that are false and the ones that really shouldn't be the way they are. So what I'm going to do in just a minute here is I'm going to show you the computer screen and show you some of the screens about my copyright videos, the videos that contain content that is actually someone else's that I've done a video on. So covers, mostly just covers. Sometimes, like if I do a review of a piano and I play a copyrighted piece, those are also in there as well, but mostly these are covers. And most of them are totally fine. When I first would upload videos, before I got my channel monetized, the videos I think would come out with a copyright claim. But now that the channel is monetized, what a lot of people will do is they will share the copyright money. So basically half the money would go to me and then half of the money would go to them, and that's totally fine. And a lot of the videos on that copyright list are that way, and that's totally fine, and I have no issue with that whatsoever. But there's a couple of strange little anomalies on that page. One of them which appears to be a false copyright claim of a video that I recently put out, which is a cover of a classical piece from the late 1800s. And then there's also a couple of other really strange ones that I also wanted to talk about that aren't even a copyright claim. It's where they just straight up removed the video, silenced it. It's not, you can't find it on YouTube. It's nowhere to be found, but yet the video is still technically up on my YouTube page. So I wanted to talk about that as well, because that's kind of strange, and it's also a little bit inconsistent, because if you search that type of video, loads of other videos come up, but yet mine has been banned from YouTube for no particular reason. So I wanted to talk about that. So let's go in and take a look at the computer screen and just show you some of the things that are kind of interesting on the copyright page, and just kind of show you guys some of the stuff that happens when you're a content creator who uploads musical content, and then people come along and claim the video. Now, one thing I wanted to mention is that a copyright claim is different from a copyright strike. When you get 3 copyright strikes, your channel can be taken off of YouTube and wiped off of the face of the earth, but a copyright claim is a bit of a lesser offense. However, if someone leaves a copyright claim on your channel, you dispute that claim, and then they end up winning the copyright dispute, you will end up getting a strike. And then if you get 3 strikes, like I said, you can be taken off of YouTube. And I don't even want to have like a single strike. I don't think it's a permanent thing. I think it stays on for a couple of months and then will disappear on its own. But I still don't want to have a copyright strike. So I try to avoid them as best as possible. So when someone comes along and puts a copyright claim on a classical music piece, I have to dispute it, because that shouldn't be. I've had people in the past, which I'm not going to be showing in this video because I've deleted the video or undisputed the claim, but I've had people come on and say that they owned the copyrights to Beethoven's third movement of Moonlight Sonata, which, as we all know, no one does that. Beethoven's been dead for hundreds of years. No one owns the copyrights to his pieces anymore. So that was just something interesting that happened in the past, but I just wanted to show you some of the things that are happening more recently. So let's go in and do that. So this is a bit of a behind-the-scenes page of the YouTube channel that if you're not a content creator yourself, you probably will have never seen, and some of you might find it kind of interesting to see what this is. So basically this is, as you can see here, you might be able to read this, it says copyright notices. So basically this is a page of all of the controversial pieces that I've uploaded, or the pieces that have content in them that is copyright of someone else. That totally makes sense. And most of these here are really pretty clear cut. We've got a video here, Love is Blue by Paul Marriott. Basically, the little green icon over here, if you look closely, you might not be able to tell on video, but what's happening here is half of the icon is dark green and the other half is light green, and when you mouse over it, it says sharing revenue. So basically what's happening here is I'm getting half of the money from this video, and the copyright holder for that song is also getting half of the revenue, which is fine. And a lot of these videos on here are that way. This one here, which is an awesome cover of Rihanna's Stay, 365 views, and it also has sharing revenue. A lot of these videos on here are sharing revenue, and that's totally fine. But a couple of them are rather interesting, and I wanted to talk about that. And the one I wanted to talk about starting off here is this one here, which is it's a performance video of Eric Satie's Nocien No. 1. So what's kind of interesting here is this piece was written in the late 1800s by a French classical music composer, Eric Satie, and because it was written over 100 years ago, the piece is no longer eligible for any kind of copyright. It's beyond the copyright date, and it should be in the public domain. But what happened here is if you were to click on this, which I'll just open up in a new tab here, Basically what happened is I got a copyright claim on it. It's not a copyright strike as of yet, it's simply just a copyright claim, which is it's not as big of an offense as a copyright strike. But basically what happened here is someone came along and claimed that the Nocien #1 that I'm playing, that was written in 1890 something, I want to say 1895, but it might not have been that. It was sometime in that time period though. They're saying that that piece is the same as their La Flor de Estambul, which basically is some kind of a piece that someone wrote that basically directly copies Erik Satie's Nocien. I'm not going to play the piece, but if you want, you can go find it and listen to it for yourself. I've listened to the first 30 seconds or so, and the chord progression is the same. There's a few extra notes, and there's a guy singing in what sounds like Spanish. This looks like Spanish to me. He's singing the melody line of Nocien #1, but he's put some words with it. So basically, he just directly copied the Nocien and didn't credit the original composer and is now claiming it as his own. And so basically, that's what's happening here for this video. So I just kind of wanted to talk about that because that's kind of interesting that someone is able to do that, and that's what happened with this video. So I currently have a, let's see what this says here. We'll monetize your video during the dispute process and pay out the earnings to the appropriate party after the dispute is resolved. Because basically what I did was when this guy who, the claimant here is SGAE_CS, when they put the claim on my video, I challenged it because the Nocien is in public domain. It was written in the late 1800s. It's not under copyright anymore. So I have challenged it, and I don't think they've gotten back to me on it yet. And so basically, if they win the dispute, I think that I'll get a copyright strike or something like that. But basically, I'm pretty sure that I'm in the right here. The Nocien is in public domain, and I just wanted to talk about that because it's very easy for people to challenge pieces. I've had some, I think I've removed the videos or something, but I've had some where people would find a video of mine and say that it was copyright for a completely unrelated pop song that had nothing to do with anything I played in the video. It was very strange, but it's very easy for people to come along and say that they wrote the piece when La Flor de Estambul is not the same piece as the Nocien. So I just wanted to talk about that, and let's go back here to the main copyright page because there's something else I wanted to talk about. Like I said, most of these here are pretty straight and clear-cut. They're sharing the revenue, and that's all good and fine. But down here at the bottom, there's a couple of here that are interesting. They're kind of the same thing. I think they're just different camera angles of the same performance. They're about the same time. These are two videos I did of a concert that was, as you can see, they were uploaded June 29th, 2015. So I was almost 15 when I made these videos. And basically what I did in this performance was I played Stairway to Heaven on the piano. Long-time viewers of the channel might have heard me play this piece before. I don't play it anymore, but I used to years ago. And basically I played the whole piece, the intro, the main chorus and everything, as well as the guitar solo, note for note on the piano, and I was kind of proud of it. I think I did a pretty good job on it. But what happened here is not just that whoever owns the copyright for Stairway to Heaven and all of Led Zeppelin's music now, they didn't just share the revenue, they blocked the video worldwide, which is very unusual. If you go here and you search Stairway to Heaven piano, you'll see that there's loads and loads of videos here of it. And there's pages and pages of videos of Stairway to Heaven on piano, but for some reason mine has been blocked in all countries. And I really don't know why. I don't know why mine was blocked in all countries and is completely permabanned from all of YouTube when so many other people here are able to upload a video of the same piece and have it be totally fine. So that's another one that's kind of an oddball one, and it's really rather strange that this video has been completely blocked from all of YouTube as opposed to being demonetized or sharing the revenue. I don't really know what happened there, but that's just kind of interesting. So as you can see there, the views, especially on this one here, are abysmally low because it was just blocked from YouTube and no one can see it. If you search this and you trolled through all the pages of search results, you wouldn't see these two videos anywhere on there. So that's kind of odd. So hopefully you enjoyed this bit of an inside look as to what it's like to be a musical content creator on YouTube. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing some of those copyright claims. Like I said, that one with Erik Satie, I believe, is completely false. I don't think that he actually owns the copyrights to that piece. Again, if you go and listen to the version he did, it's a blatant copy of Nocien #1. The melody is basically the same. I think he added in a couple of extra notes, but the melody is basically the same. It sounds like it's in the same key, and the chord progression of what I listened to of the piece is identical. So basically he took Erik Satie's piece, put words with it, and now is claiming it as his own. which that is where the problem lies. Many people in the past in rock music and many other genres of music have taken classical music, little bits and pieces of it. I know the Doors did that a lot with some of their music. They'd take a little bit of Bach or something, put it in their own piece, and then call it their own. And where the line is drawn here is they didn't go back to someone playing a Bach music and say, you're playing my piece, you're in trouble. They didn't. They just used a little snippet of Bach music in their own work and called it a day. But what's happening here is someone is taking a classical music piece, changing it a tiny bit, putting words with it, and then getting after people who upload the original video saying that that video is actually their own music, which is not the case, that's not true, and that's not a really good thing to be doing. So I just wanted to kind of mention that and just show you guys some of the interesting things that happen when you're a YouTube content creator. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you want to go check out some of my other videos, if you want to go watch the original Eric Satie piece, it's a really, really nice song, and I love playing it on this piano. Fantastic piano for that piece. It's a wonderful sound. If you want to go check that out, you can. If you want to go check out some of my other videos, I've got lots of videos of pianos, keyboards, organs, and all kinds of cool musical instruments. So go and check all that out, and if you want to, you can think about subscribing, and if you do that, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.